The chairman of the House Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development, Hon.Kafilat Ogbara, has called on all stakeholders to support the bill seeking to create 182 additional legislative seats exclusively for women in Nigeria. Speaking during a press briefing at the National Assembly complex in Abuja, Ogbara decried the low representation of women in governance, particularly in the legislature, despite women constituting nearly half of the nation's population. She said the proposed reserved seat for women bills aimed to address this imbalance by guaranteeing a specific number of seats for women in the national and state assemblies. Ogbara added that the bill is not merely a legislative effort, but a bold commitment toward building a more inclusive democracy. According to her, the bill proposes one additional seat per state, including the FCT, to be reserved for women in both chambers of the National Assembly. It also recommends 3 additional reserved seats for women in each state House of Assembly. She noted that the bill includes provisions to ensure the participation of women from diverse backgrounds, including young women, women with disabilities, and those from marginalized communities.
The importance of the bill. The reserved seat bill for women is not just about numbers. It is about giving women a voice in decision-making processes that affect their lives and communities. By increasing women's representation, we can ensure that their perspectives, their views, needs, rights are adequately addressed in policy formulation and implementation. This bill aligns with international commitments to gender equality, including the Sustainable Development Goals, particularly Goal 5, which calls for achieving gender equality and empowering all women and girls. Studies have shown that when women are included in decision-making processes, economic growth is accelerated and benefiting to the entire nation as well. It will also interest you that we have sponsored 3 bills to increase the percentage of women in our security institutions recently, thereby promoting gender equality and inclusivity in our security institutions, all thanks to right.
In her remarks, Senator Ireti Kingibe of the Labour Party MCT echoed Ogbara's sentiment, stated that when women set their minds to a cause, they achieve results. She urged women to mobilize both among themselves and with male allies to push for the bill's passage. Kingibe also pointed out that Nigeria often finds itself at a disadvantage in international legislative fora due to its poor representation of women.
The seats, we must have them. So I advocate and call on all the women of this country to please go out, speak to the men, speak to everybody you can speak to get their support for these 74 reserved seats. Then I would also like to point out to everybody else in the nation, you know, this isn't just about women, it's about the whole country. It's about the development of the country. It is shown everywhere that where there are more female representation, the countries are better developed economically. And we know that as the giant of Africa, we need to get ahead of everybody. I would also like to call, as my sister said, on all the governors, because we need their support in the state houses of assembly. This seat is about Nigeria.
The United Nations Development Programme UNDP country representative Ms. Elsie Atafua commended the leadership of the 3rd National Assembly for championing the bill. Atafua said women currently hold less than 5% of legislative seats in Nigeria, a disparity she described as a call to dismantle systemic barriers and foster inclusive governance. She pledged the continued support of the UNDP towards the bill's success.
Despite making up nearly half of Nigeria's population, women currently occupy fewer than 5% of seats in the National Assembly. This isn't just a gap, it is a call to action. A call to dismantle structural barriers, disrupt the status quo, and build a more inclusive and just governance system. So the reserved seats bill, in our opinion, is a transformative response to that call. A call to deal with dismantling structural barriers, disrupting the status quo. It affirms the principle that women belong at the table, not as guests, but as decision makers, not as exceptions, but as equals.
Also speaking, Princess Nikki Onyere, Secretary General of the Association of Women Traditional Title Holders in Nigeria, described the bill as timely and essential. She lamented the exclusion of nearly half the population from the decision-making table, adding that the inclusion of more qualified women in leadership would positively impact the GDP and development across sectors. She appealed to all Nigerian men, women, traditional leaders, and skeptics alike to support the bill and collectively push for a more inclusive political system.
I want Nigerian women to know the movement, this movement we have for the advancement of women must continue. Hon.Kafilat, we need more of you in Parliament. I pray that the women that come to represent these 6 seats by God's grace, the special seats for women by God's grace will come and it will be a reality. But the women we choose must be a voice. They must be voices for many other women.
Baba Sunday, Eagles FM News.